Hey guys, so it's almost 11:30. I've been a little busy cleaning the house for our live stream tomorrow night for Super Smash Night, where we're going to be playing Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U and streaming it live over Twitch. I'll put a link to it in the description below. But this week was E3, and there was a lot of announcements. In fact, so many announcements that I'm using cheat sheets for this video. So, on that note, I'm going to cue my music up. So, like I said, I'm going to be using cheat sheets for this video, but I really wanted to get this video out so that I could summarize what was done on E3 and what was announced at E3 in one video, basically. So this is going to be very raw. You might see me stumble a little bit because I'm not doing multiple takes, but just bear with me. I wanted to get all of this collected into one area so that people out there could just watch one video and get all the information from the E3 reveals. So, like I said, I'm using cheat sheets. So I'm going to start off with one of the better presentations I felt for E3, which is Ubisoft. So, it was a very, very emotional reveal for some of these games, especially Mario and Rabbids. So, Miyamoto, hopefully I said that right, was on hand from Nintendo, and he was working with Ubisoft, obviously, to make the Mario and Rabbids. And while he was revealing this, he actually congratulated the team, and the director of the team ended up in tears almost. That tells you how much thought was put into this game. And I despise Rabbids. I loved Rayman until they introduced the Rabbids, and then I just hated it. But this game actually looks excellent. So basically what happens is the Rabbids end up in the Mario world. Somehow the worlds collide. But what's awesome is it's a turn-based strategy game. And we haven't seen many of those. So this is new, this is fresh, and they're taking a new take on Mario, which is excellent. I know for sure that I'm going to buy this as soon as it comes out. Assassin's Creed Origins was released. It's set in Egypt, and they displayed the vast open desert in this. Now, I'm a little concerned. The last Assassin's Creed that did something similar, I think, was Assassin's Creed 3, and that was during the Revolution. And there's more to climb, in my opinion, in New England during the Revolution, and I didn't feel like there was enough to climb. And to me, that's a key part of Assassin's Creed. I mean, truth be told, the game looked great graphic-wise, but until I see some solid gameplay, I'm not sure if I'm going to be sold on that. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the gameplay after the announcement, so maybe if I see that, maybe my opinion will change. There was a very strong reveal for The Crew 2. You can take to the sky or the sea in planes or boats, and you can take to the streets with off-roading or street racing, and this looked very impressive, guys. I've never gotten a chance to play The Crew, but I will definitely revisit it after seeing this video. I should say trailer, I'm sorry. After seeing the trailer, I'm going to definitely go back and revisit The Crew and see how it is. I think it was one of the free Xbox Live games, so I may already have it actually. Elijah Wood has his own video game company, which I had no idea about, which is pretty funny because I was talking with my wife last night, and she's like, oh yeah, I knew he had his own video game company. I'm like, what? How did you know something about video games that I didn't know? But anyways, Elijah Wood's video game company is making a game called Transference, and the idea, it looks like, was they're taking people's memories and trying to transfer them, like you live their memory through virtual reality. It looked really creepy. I don't know if it's just the way they presented it. Nothing really too scary jumped out during the trailer. It looks very, very early stages. And that should be launching in spring of 2018. Then Ubisoft came in and announced Skull and Bones, which is a pirate game. So you can take to the seas as your own pirate with your own ship, or you can team up with other people and make your own crew and go out. And there's a multiplayer mode, I think, where you go into like games almost like deathmatch and treasure hunt and things like that. But in addition to that, it looks like you're in a vast open world and other people can come and join you. And I hope that's really what it is like, because we've been shown games in the past that were told that it was almost like an MMO for consoles, and they weren't. For example, in my opinion, Destiny, when you go out, you're always in parties of 4. In certain areas, you get locked out. But actually, I take that back. Destiny is probably one of the closer ones for an MMO. But there's other games out there like that. But this looked really impressive. I would say if you loved Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and you loved the ship battles from it, you will love this game, judging by what they did. In fact, I believe they even referenced the fact that Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag inspired them to make this. Then they announced this game called Starlight, and basically it's Lego ships. It looked okay. The idea is that you have a ship and you can pull pieces off and put pieces on and upgrade your ship during the midst of battle. But it did kind of look gimmicky to me. The gameplay looked okay. It actually looked kind of cool. But again, I mean, it looked pretty gimmicky. Like, example, Spyro Skylanders, which is another good game. You know, going back to my Rayman Rabbids, that was another game. I loved Spyro up until they got to Skylanders. But anyways, back to the list here, because we got a lot to get through. But yeah, I mean, I think that looked kind of gimmicky, but we'll see. We'll see as it gets closer. Far Cry 5, they showed a little bit more. Pretty much everything we knew before, except they showed some scenes with co-op, and there's also an AI dog companion that helps you out during the game. It looks pretty good. Actually, it looks very good. And then their big, big, big announcement. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Which is a prequel to Beyond Good and Evil. And I believe they said this was 15 years or so, as I'm going to say, in the making, right? I'm sure the game wasn't in development. Well, maybe the game was in development for 15 years. But we've been waiting for a sequel or a prequel to Beyond Good and Evil for about 15 years, they said. So that brings it back to around the time I was 12 years old. So that would put it on Xbox. And I believe I may have this on the Xbox Live arcade games, or I'm sorry, the Xbox Live free games. And the trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2 was phenomenal. And I never played Beyond Good and Evil, and I'm going to definitely go back and revisit that if I have it. And if I don't, I'm going to go out and buy it so I can revisit it, because it looked that good. So, moving on to, if I'm saying this right, Bethesda. So they announced Fallout 4 VR, Skyrim VR, and Doom VFR, which stands for Virtual Beeping Reality. This announcement alone with Fallout 4 VR and Doom VFR basically sold me on getting a virtual reality, whether it's the PS4 VR or it's the Oculus Vive. Actually, this may not be on the Vive. It's either... Is it the Vive? I mix those up all the time. It's not on one of the VR systems. I'll have to look up what that is. But yeah, I mean, I'm from the Boston area, so the fact that Fallout 4 is in virtual reality basically sold it to me, and I've never played Fallout 4, actually. So, which everyone's probably like, how did you not play Fallout 4? But I was never really into Fallout. But it being in the Boston area, I really want to try it out, especially in virtual reality, since I'll know a lot of the areas. Now, moving on to Xbox. So, Xbox One X, aka Scorpio. Performance upgrades in 4K. If you're into that kind of stuff, look it up. Personally, I'm going to stick with my regular Xbox One. The games will play on both. It's just Xbox One X is going to have better performance and better graphics. I can't justify spending $500 on a new system just for performance when I can play the games on Xbox. But if that's your cup of tea, that was their big announcement. Original Xbox games, which got me more excited than the Xbox One X actually, are going to be transitioning over to being able to be played on the Xbox One. There was an announcement of a game called Anthem, which is by the creators of Mass Effect, and it's a free roam, basically in what they call the Javelin, and it's an Iron Man suit that's fully customizable, as they put it. It looks awesome, but not much has been revealed yet. I can't wait to see more for that game. Then PlayerUnknown, which a lot of people from Steam probably know. I just saw it this week, ironically not because of E3. I saw it on Facebook, of all things. And that's coming to Xbox. And basically, one of my friends gave me a download today about what it's about. And basically, it's Battle Royale, so they drop you all on an island, and you have to go and find weapons and fight each other. So I may get a screwdriver, and you may get, a shotgun. So it sounds pretty cool. Minecraft is now 4K, and it's cross-platform with the exception of Sony. I'm sure a lot of people are kind of upset about this, but Sony said, we don't want to have our kids interacting with adults, basically, is what they said. Well, adults play Minecraft. Kids play Minecraft, whether they're on Sony or they're on Xbox or they're on the computer. Your kids are going to interact with adults if they're playing online. Be prepared for that. This was just Sony's way of getting out of saying, hey guys, we don't want to work with you guys on cross-platform. But what's going to be cool about this, so we're done beating the dead horse here, but what's going to be cool about this is it's going to be cross-platform with Xbox, PC, and it's going to be cross-platform with the Switch, which is very cool to me. Crackdown 3, the trailer had Terry Crews in it. Turns out Terry Crews is in the game. Looks like your typical Crackdown game. It comes out November 7th. Sorry, I almost said 4th. Comes out November 7th. I'm totally going to buy that. I don't know if I'll buy it on November 7th, but I will definitely buy it. It looks phenomenal. And I loved Crackdown, and I skipped Crackdown 2, unfortunately. But I'm pumped that they're coming out with a Crackdown 3. That was one of my favorite games for my Xbox 360. They announced the sequel to Shadow of Mordor. Again, another game I haven't played, unfortunately. The sequel is called Shadow of War. I don't know if you worked with orcs in Shadow of Mordor, but there's an orc in Shadow of War. So that kind of intrigued me a little bit. So I might actually check this game out. And then their big announcement, along with the Xbox One X, was that Forza 7 is coming out on October 3rd. And this was kind of their game to push the Xbox One X. The graphics look great. So, yeah, if you're into that kind of game, definitely check it out. I know most people are into Forza. I'm not really into Forza, but that's okay. Maybe not really a huge racer gamer, but I do like my racing games every now and then. So maybe I'll check it out. PS4. So basically, everything PS4 announced, in my opinion, was coming out in the future, not within like the next year or so. Whatever, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But I'll go through the list anyways. So Knack 2 is coming out in September 5th. I never played Knack 1. I just recently got a PS4, so that is one of the games that I was interested in playing. I just haven't gotten around to it. Uncharted Lost Legacy does not feature Nathan. Rather, it's focusing on Nadine Ross and Chloe Fraser. I believe that's going to end up being a standalone game. It's not a DLC. Destiny 2 is coming out September 6th now, so that's 2 days earlier, and that's for both the PS4 and the Xbox One. Days Gone gameplay was featured. So this game follows a motorcycle club officer who's trying to survive in a zombie pandemic. It looks good. Actually, it looks very good. There's no launch date though, and it's been in production for 2 years. So I'm hoping that it will come out soon, because it looks very interesting to me. Horizon Zero Dawn's receiving a DLC. Later on this year is what they said. And Monster Hunter comes back home to Sony. So, Monster Hunter announced that they're going to be doing a game called Monster Hunter Worlds. And I am a big Monster Hunter fan, so I'm very excited for this. And it's going to be on both the PS4 and the Xbox One. I was actually hoping to see Monster Hunter Double Cross out for the Switch in the US, but there was no announcement regarding that. There was only the announcement of Monster Hunter Worlds. But that's okay. I'm excited because it's a new Monster Hunter game, and I've been playing it since PS2 with online. There's another remake coming out for Shadow of Colossus. Truth be told, I don't know if I'm the only one feeling like this, but I'm getting a little tired of the remakes. How many times can we do an HD remake of a game that already exists? But whatever, that's cool. Shadow of Colossus is a great game. And if you don't own it, definitely buy it. And if you do own it and you love it beyond belief, I guess you're probably buying it anyways. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. They showed off Zero from Mega Man X, Dante from Devil May Cry, Thanos, Black Panther, and Gamora from Guardians. And there is a demo out right now on the PS4. So if you go online, you can check that out. Call of Duty World War II, it highlighted its multiplayer. And boy, am I glad that they're going back to their roots of realism. There's betas starting August 25th to the 28th for PS4, and then September 1st to the 4th for all systems. The PSVR is getting Skyrim and, in my opinion, other less impressive VR games. I feel like most of the VR games at this point are kind of demos to show the capability of the VR. That's why I'm very excited for the Fallout 4 VR. I'm excited for the Skyrim VR, and hopefully the Doom if it's a full-fledged game. Included in these VR games is a Final Fantasy 15 fishing game, which is kind of strange to me, but okay, Sony, whatever you want to do. Or I guess that's Square Enix, whatever you want to do. God of War looks amazing, and it's called God of War, but it's not the first one. Kratos' son is in it, and check that out online. Definitely go and YouTube some of those clips, because that looks very, very good. And finally, Spider-Man was revealed, and it looks like a Marvel competitor to the Arkham games. Yes, guys, it looks that good. Now I'm moving on to Nintendo, guys. This is the last one. Rocket League is coming to the Switch, and it's going to be cross-platform, again, with the exception of Sony. Don't ask me why they feel the need to do this, guys, when everyone else is playing nice. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is out this holiday, and it looks amazing. I've never played Xenoblade Chronicles, unfortunately, but I'm definitely going to get that and try it. I think the Wii one is a little pricey still, so I'll probably just get it for the 3DS. And what I'm super pumped about is Kirby for the Switch. There is no release date, however. It's 4 players, and the reason why I'm really excited for it is the first game I ever remember playing is Kirby, so it kind of has a sentimental value to me, as well as the fact that who doesn't love Kirby? Pokken DX, or Pokken Tournament DX, is coming out, and a Pokemon RPG was announced that it's starting to be made. They had nothing to show us on the Pokemon RPG because it's still very early stages. But if you don't have Pokken Tournament, I highly suggest that you try it, and then I love it, and I'm definitely going to buy it for the Switch. Metroid Prime 4 was announced, which I'm pumped for. However, it's not by the original creators, but hopefully they keep the flavor of the earlier Metroid Prime games. Fire Emblem Warriors is coming out this holiday season. There's 2 DLC packs for Zelda coming out. One hits on June 30th, and the other one hits this holiday. Super Mario Odyssey looks amazing. This is the first Super Mario game to really get me hyped since 64, actually. And basically, you're Mario, and I'm sure everyone's already seen clips already, but you take your cap off, and your cap's this little creature, and you throw them at objects, and you can take over those objects, which is pretty neat to me. It looks very innovative. It's in our world. The trailer opened up with Mario taking over a Tyrannosaurus Rex and running onto the screen. So I don't know if you're going to be traveling to different worlds. I think you are. Actually, I do know you're going to be traveling to different worlds because when I was watching the gameplay, they go to a sand world. So they may travel, between, dinosaur worlds and our world and things like that. Looks very, very exciting. You can take over Goombas. You can take over Bullet Bills. Not every single creature, but there are specific ones. I think they said they look a little bit bigger, and you can take over the bigger ones. So, now with all of these announcements, there was also 7 new amiibos announced. I'm not surprised. It's Nintendo, and amiibos are their thing, right? Every single time they revealed a game, they were actually like, oh, and we have a very special announcement for you. And it's behind my hand here, and they'd pull their hand away, and of course it was an amiibo. By the third time of them doing the surprise, you knew it was an amiibo, but that's okay. So these amiibos are pretty cool, though. They have 4 Zelda spirits. Those are the 4 spirits that you help by battling the Guardians. Or I think they're called Guardian Spirits, maybe. You guys know who I'm talking about if you played the game. And there's 3 Mario Odyssey figures, which are all in wedding getup. One is Bowser, and the other 2 are, who do you think they are? Mario and Peach. But those look pretty cool, and they're going to be able to interact with Super Mario Odyssey, obviously. They didn't say exactly what or how. Excuse me. Finally, for the 3DS, they're releasing a new Metroid, which is a reimagining of Metroid 2. So, that should be pretty exciting, guys. The gameplay looked pretty cool. It's kind of like a 3D looking game, but it's actually a side-scroller like the original Metroid. So, and that's all I got. So, let me know in the comments below if there's anything I missed and that you want to tell other people about. And let me know what you're most excited about that you heard from the announcements from the E3. So, quick little plug here, guys. Tomorrow, which is only in like 10 minutes. So tomorrow I will be streaming Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U with a bunch of my friends. And be prepared for up to 8-player action to be on your screen. We're going to simply be streaming the game, not ourselves. So if that's something you're into, if you're into watching people play on Twitch, and if you're into watching Super Smash Bros. And seeing a really, really good gameplay, guys, because some of us have been playing this for years, then I highly suggest that you tune in. So I hope to see you guys tuning in. That'd be great. And thank you for all the support you guys have been giving me. I had one of my first videos reach over 200 views, which is amazing to me because I've been struggling to get over 100. So, on that note, I'm going to sign off for the night, and I'll be up early to clean for this game. So, remember, be excellent to each other, guys, and thank you for all the support.